Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube episode. On this one, we're going to be talking about the notorious tyre barriers at Queensland Raceway. So, I wasn't going to make this video, but I've had some time to think about it and reflect on what actually happened at Matsuri. So, Queensland Raceway, I'll give you a quick recap. If you didn't know already, Queensland Raceway was sold, the track was sold to a new owner, and the new owner owns a couple of tracks already. All looks promising. He's putting a lot of money into the track and making it heaps better than what it was, which is great. It's freaking awesome. There's some cool new things that they're doing that's benefiting drifters as well. So they've got that new drift playground. I don't know if you've seen footage of that from Japnats, but there's a new, it's like a massive skid pan with some barriers in the middle so you can go around, and it's just huge space, like so cool. But then one of the other changes they've done, they've put these tyre barriers on the main track, and they're not just normal tyres, they're actually truck tyres. So they're huge freaking tyres, massive tyres, and they're stacked a few tyres high. I'll put some photos in right now so you can actually see what they look like. And there's normally two stacks of tyres sitting right on the clipping point. So when you're drifting, yeah, it's in the worst spot. A lot of the corners are in the worst spot. They've moved them closer to the road. So first off, they ran them at a morning session, which is a Christmas bash morning session, and Kyle in his blue BMW smashed into them so hard. There's a photo there, and just rode off his car, smashed the windows, absolutely just freaking smashed it so hard. And these truck tires, when you hit them, they're stronger than a wall. They're like hitting freaking tree trunks, basically. They're probably even worse because you hit them and it pulls you around. It's just not good. But yeah, so that happened, and then I had another driver's briefing, and all the drivers were really pissed off that the tires were out there because they were having issues with them. And then I don't know, QI was trying to enforce it, that the tires have to stay, the tyre barriers have to be there, because the owner is insisting that they need to be there. The whole reason behind why they have these tyre barriers there is because in drifting, a lot of the time, people dirt drop, which is where your back tyre will come off the edge of the track and hit the dirt, and because your tyres are spinning so fast, it just flicks up all the dirt and rips up the track, and it causes a lot of damage, and the track owners have to replace, fill in the sides that the drifters destroy. So it costs them money. The new owner is not about that. He wants a nice pristine track. That's why you might have seen all the memes going around about Queensland Raceway grass is worth a shitload of money. So he wants nice grass all the way around the track to look good for the V8s. He's a big V8 guy. And yeah, so his idea, I don't know if it's his idea, but what they came up with was to put these truck tires right on the road, so that when you're drifting around, you'll see the tire and you'll back off from going right to the edge of the track. Which I guess in theory that's makes sense, but in practical, after everyone was going out and started hitting the tires, when you hit the tires, you rip up even more dirt because it spins you, and your freaking car's just out of control, and it really makes a mess of things. So they had the morning session, and then they had a couple of Friday night drifts. Zara actually went to a Friday night drift, but she was doing dipper track, where it's not as I don't know, dipper track seems to be you have more space on a Friday night drift layout anyway. And then I watched a couple of people hit the tires. It was nighttime, so you couldn't really see. And then first big event was Matsuri that I was driving at, And the first day, on the Saturday, there was probably like at least 20 cars hit the tires, and like big crashes. You might have seen that little brown weapon hit the tires, like full pelt. That tire stack that he just hit was like in the worst spot. It's like the fastest part of the track. Obviously the guy was like kind of just sending his car, like proper sending it, and I don't know if it was like the car that was playing up or his skill level, but yeah, he was in the wrong place at the, like, just way off the race line. But if the tire barrier wasn't there, he most likely would have hit the wall and then slid along the wall. And walls are a lot safer, if you didn't know. Walls are actually a lot safer to hit than a freaking tire stack, because yeah, you kind of bounce off it and slide along it. You don't just hit it and like spin around like a solid object. So yeah, the damage on that car was insane. They actually got it fixed overnight. So I didn't hit any tires on the first day. I did so many laps, probably over 100 laps on the Saturday. I was drifting like out on track from pretty much the start of the day all through the night till 10 o'clock at night. I was like the last one out there. It was so good. I had so much fun. The S13, I had extra grip in the back because I had toe in on the rear and grippy tires for the first time ever, and it was so much fun. Like I think I reached the level of drifting where when your wheel alignment's straight, you kind of get bored of it, or you want to go a bit faster. And when you put grip into a car, it's just like a whole nother level of drifting. It's so cool. So I was getting used to that on the Saturday, and I had heaps of like a drive out of the corner. So I don't know, it was just like the car was feeling way different and heaps good, and I got used to that from doing the back-to-back laps. And then on the Sunday, I had to change to my China shit tires that I've never ran. That was the first time I ran them. They're good at the start, but they wear out really fast. And then I didn't have as much traction, so when I was sending the car, because you just send it, I unfortunately don't have any footage of it, but basically I was expecting the car to have the grip to take me the same way I've been doing it the day before. So I don't know how to explain it fully, but I was expecting the car to do something different to what it did do, because it had no traction. So I just slid straight into the freaking tires after the transition on 3 to 6. There's a tire stack on the right, on the outside. I just slid straight from them, and like I seen them coming, and I couldn't really. In like what you're supposed to do if you're sliding towards an object, I've learned now, you're supposed to put your foot down and actually turn into the corner to turn away, and you'll most likely spin and hit the back of the car, which is like the sacrifice part. So you want to save all the front end with all your arms and all your important bits and pieces that you don't want to damage. You want to save that and protect it, so you spin around and hit the back, or just like clip it and go past it. The way I crashed was because of my own skill level, my own fault. But the shit thing is, if the tires weren't in that particular spot, I would have come off the track by like maybe 2 meters at the most, and then just got back on the track nicely, got back on the road and kept going, and my car would be perfectly fine. The track would definitely have a little bit of a scuff mark in the dirt, but it wouldn't be like, I was like off the accelerator, so it wouldn't be like a dirt drop. And it was an accident. Accidents happen. So I don't know what the argument against. It'd be interesting to talk to someone that is for the tires and ask them in that situation if it's worth having the tires there, or like what they would say about it, because I think the tires in that situation is stupid. Obviously there's a problem with dirt dropping, and we need to change that because it's costing them money, but I don't think tires is the freaking right way to go about it. It just seems really freaking dangerous. If you actually see on, I don't know if I have a photo of it, but on the side of my car where I hit the tires, you can see the tire imprints on the car, like there's like a scuff mark in the paint now, and the top tire is literally like in line with my head, and I don't know how I didn't cop a tire to the head, to be honest. Like, it's freaking that crazy. And like I'm wearing a helmet obviously, but if you get a tire to the head like that, it's gonna really cause some bad freaking injury to your neck or your spine. So from like coming away from the track and thinking about it, like it's just not worth it. Like that could happen to me first lap out there. I would try not to, but things can still happen and you can go into the tires. I'm not willing to put myself in that position again, where I could get majorly injured, because yeah, it's just not safe. If they were to lower the tires and have like one tire there, it would be a lot safer for starters, but also it's still going to cause damage to your car. I don't know, it's a shit one, because it's either damaging the side of the track or damaging your car, but they also damage the side of the track. So I don't know, there's a bunch of different like different barriers you can get that don't damage your car as much. So obviously that would be more desirable from our point of view. But I was thinking like a good way to solve the problem would be like you'd have to have someone like as a spotter and watching pretty much all the main clipping points, and then which is only like 4 points on the track, and like you'd have to have someone watching to see if the person driving was like purposely pushing their car right to the edge, or if they accidentally spun out. Like if it's an accident, you shouldn't have to worry about anything, get back on the track and keep going. That's learning, like that's why you come to the track. But if you're purposely like sending the car, and you can pretty much see if someone's sending it and they just come off the side and dirt drop on, it's not on purpose, but it's like they pushing it and it's like right on the limit, so it can happen easily. If they did that and it happens, the first time you get like a warning, second time you have to do the driver's briefing again, because no one wants to do that, it just takes time out of your day. And then the third time, if you do it 3 times, mate, obviously like you haven't learned a lesson, and then you would get a fine. So the fine would go towards repairing the track. Like the money thing is stupid anyway, because like at a Matsuri event, if you add it up, it's like they're making like a shit ton of money. Like surely they can afford to just fix the side of the track, but then you got Friday night drift and morning sessions as well, where it would be happening as well. So, but still, like I don't know, it seems stupid. Like in the past, the last owner, at any point of drifting in the last couple of years, has anyone said anything about dirt dropping and that it's a problem? Like it might have been a problem, but they didn't make it aware to any drivers. So pretty much that was like, just if you dirt drop and just keep going. Like didn't know it was an issue. So it just sucks that this has come in. I can see the side of view, but also from a driver's point of view, it's just freaking dangerous, and you're just totaling cars. It's obviously up to the driver to put their car on the track at their own risk. And yeah, but the really shit thing is, the thing that I really hate the most about the whole situation is pretty much that like with these tire barriers, even like I'm not the best driver, I'm still learning, but even like the top end drivers are hitting these tires, like clipping them with the back of their car, because when they're doing tandems, the lead car just misses the tire barrier, like just misses it, and the follow car they can't be like right following the same line, so they're sitting back a little bit, and so when they come around, the following car will clip the tires because they can't see them until the last second, which will happen to a couple of guys out there. And just freaking, it's just shit, because yeah, it doesn't matter what level of driving you are, there's situations where you can easily hit the tires and just total your freaking car. And the thing that pisses me off the most about the whole thing is that new drivers that are watching, spectating, thinking, oh wow, like that would be freaking awesome to do, I might want to try and do that. When they see someone hit a tire wall and just total their car, and they can see how shit that experience would be, it's fully going to deter them from ever wanting to get in a drift car and drive on that track. So that's the one thing that I hate the most, because I want the sport to do good. I want more people to be involved. It helps all of us. It's fun. It's a freaking awesome community. And yeah, it's just taking away from that. So that pisses me off the most. So the incident that happened, the reason why I got my driver's ban taken off me was because, so I hit the tire wall, I came back in, I realized, like, I was, I don't know, a little bit dazed, just hit the freaking tires, I didn't expect that. And then I thought the whole car was gonna be just complete like reshell, which it's pretty close to that. The sill is caved in. We'll talk about that soon. At the end I'll talk about the Sony and the plans and everything and the damage. But basically I came in and then realized the car still drove straight, and I was like, alright, sweet, we'll go back out again. So I went out and I was drifting along, having a good time. Same thing happened, but on the dipper track. So I was coming around and I had no traction. Same error twice, but the first time I didn't realize what the problem was. I didn't realize till like later in the afternoon. I was like, oh, obviously I had traction the first day, I had lots of grip. The second day I had no traction. So big lesson learned there. You'd think that would be an easy, fast lesson to learn, but nah, for me apparently it took 2 crashes. Anyway, the second one, I was coming around a dipper and I stuffed up my line. Same thing again, I just pulled the handbrake and put the foot brake on at the same time and just held on and tried to stop before hitting an object, which is not what you're supposed to do. Turn in and power. But did it again, and then I hit the front right quarter of the car on the tire barrier, and I just hit it a little bit, but it was enough. Like the whole like concept of hitting the tires, like, I don't know, I lost the plot. I just seen red and I just freaking, I come to a stop and I put it in gear and I just limiter, just LS limiter, and I just did donuts on the dirt, which is really bad, and I shouldn't have done that, but in the moment I was heated and yeah, I was really pissed off, and yeah, wrong thing to do. But obviously you do things when you're angry that you shouldn't do, and that's what happened. But one of my passengers at the time, he filmed the whole thing. I'll just insert it here. And so yeah, he also tagged in Queensland Raceway in his story, which they later seen. So I did that, I hit the wall, and then the tire barrier, and I kept going. I was driving around, I changed tires and I had traction again, and then I was having a freaking awesome time. Me and Xavier were out there, and then all of a sudden I got called in by an official. He said, hey, we've got footage of the interior of your car doing a skid on the dirt. Was that you? And I was just like, oh shit. And then, so they took the driver's ban off me, which I thought was absolute bullshit. And then I just went off, I was just yelling at the officials, absolutely lost the plot. And I'm not really an angry person, like I don't get angry, but I was so pissed because there was still 3 hours left of the event. And like, I work pretty damn hard, and drifting is like my hobby, it's my fun, and someone was taking that away from me. And man, I was so mad, eh? But and then later on I actually apologized to the officials, told them like why I did that, and yeah, I was sorry, because yeah, no one wants to be yelled at, especially when the order was actually coming from the owner himself, not the officials. So just took it out on someone that was the messenger basically, which not very nice. So apologized to them, and they actually said that they understand, because Same thing happened to someone else, and then that driver did a burnout up pit lane, got out, and then they had a fist fight with an official. So yeah, just not good. You don't want that stuff at an event, especially when Matsuri's been ran like flawlessly for the last few years. Before, in the past, I think it was a bit of a party, but the last few years has been freaking awesome. Really good community. And yeah, so that's what happened in Matsuri. Got the car on the trailer, got it home, chucked the tarp on it. Zara still hasn't even seen it in person. And then now it's currently at Loco Customs in Nolland with Dane, and they're going to try and pull the sill out. So the actual whole door is pushed in. It's creased on the back rear quarter, and the bonnet has a bit of damage, but the car will never be the same again. It's really a shame, but they're going to try and fix it as best we can. It's a track only car, so sort of bound to happen at some stage, but hopefully yeah, get it sorted. It's just shit that it's just going to cost so much money to fix, and the whole experience of it, just the negativity behind it. Like, I don't like negative shit, and it was a really negative experience, but I'm like learning a lot of lessons from it. It's just like the hard way as normal. But yeah, so that's what happened to Matsuri. Since then, there's been so many cars hit the tire barriers. Pretty much everyone knows that I'm against them, so people will send me photos and videos of them hitting the tires, showing me the damage and stuff. So I've seen a lot of cars hit tires now, and it's so freaking, it makes me mad like that they're keeping them out there. They've actually moved the tires closer to the inside of the track, so they're on the actual road now. So Saxon, he hit the tires, and his rear tire never actually came off the bitumen. So if the tire wasn't there, he would have just, that's how you meant to drift the track. So because the tires are on the track now, the back of his car hit the tires. So stupid. But obviously the argument to that is that he knew the tires were there, he went too close and hit them. It's just like, it's a shit situation. Like, the other thing is that he's from circuit racing, so that made me think about like circuit races and how crazy they are about this motorsports and stuff, and they would never allow a tire stack to be on the track. No other motorsports would allow that. Like, it's so freaking dangerous, and for drifters apparently they just don't give a shit. So, but yeah, it's pretty sad. Hopefully they can figure out something else, because we've sent them a heap of different options that they could do, but nothing has come about it yet. And like, after Japnats, it got me thinking about the future of drifting, and pretty much with the tires out there at this rate, it's almost inevitable that every single car is going to hit the tires. It's like every driver has moments where they come off the track a little bit. It happens all the time. Like, even top like D1 drivers, they hit the walls and tires and shit all the time. So it's bound to happen. And all those cars out there, some of them are freaking expensive, like 100k cars. They could well end up damaging from the tires, when, man, it's just so unnecessary. It's just like, there must be a better way. There has to be a better way. It's crazy. But yeah, I've been rambling on a bit here, so just to wrap this up, the plans for the S13 is actually, I got a new door and front quarter panel off Matt from Car Make Vibe. Cheers, man, you freaking legend. And that's at the shop now. They're gonna pull the door out the best they can, fit the door, check it with the side skirt, fit the front quarter, fix the bonnet, bog it and primer, get it all ready, and then I'm bringing it back home. I'm gonna fit a new body kit to it that I've already got, and then change the wing on it. I don't like the wing. It's Zara's car, so I pretty much just say, oh, do you want this? And then if she said yeah or no. But yeah, I want to change the wing, new tires, new rims, so they're all like the same, because that was one of the big things I took away from Matsuri last time and crashing and whatnot. going from different tires is like the worst thing ever. So you want to stick with the same size tire the whole event, start to finish, same brand and everything. So that's what I'm going to do with 32, and for Zara's car I'm going to like make sure that they're all the same rims. Where the S13 I bought, it had like 10 skidders with it, and they're all different sizes, ranging from like 19 to 15 so inches. So they're all over the place, and every time I chuck on a new tires it takes a couple laps to get used to it. So I'm going to get new rims for it, and then we're going to take it back to Dane, get it painted, and then do some vinyl wrap stickers on it. It's going to be sick. It's going to be so cool. And then I'm pretty much going to retire from driving the S13, and Zara can drive that, and then hopefully R32 will be done soon. So that's what's happening. I hope you guys are excited for the future. I hope QR can come up with some sort of safer resolution to the tire, or to the dirt dropping issue. And yeah, that's all we can do is hope. The new QR drift playground just opened for the jack mats, and that looks so freaking cool. And I'm keen as to take the 32 there for like a shakedown, make sure everything works, and then I'm going to go to Rayleigh and drift down there, because I haven't been there before, which is in Coffs Harbour if anyone didn't know. But yeah, it's looking really cool. The 32 is getting close to the first start, so get keen for that. Appreciate you guys for sticking around the whole video. It's pretty late at night right now, Enzo's asleep, so excuse my non-enthusiastic tone, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Like it if you liked it. Like it if you liked it. Drop a comment below on what you think a good option would be for QR to use, or just put your opinion down below. And if you're new to the channel, you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Mostly working on cars and drifting videos, but yeah, I don't usually ramble on like this, so new for me. I'm not very good at it, but appreciate you guys for sticking around. If you made it this far, obviously put in the comments tire barrier. See you guys.
I love that it's like so I just went around 3 to 6, and yeah, ran into the tire wall. Of course I fucking hit the tires, going on about it all weekend, but yeah, the door's like in the car now. Check it out from the outside. That's thumbnail footage. I was so mad at first, so pissed.
Oh yeah.
It's not even that bad.
Gabby goes, someone hit the tires, and I was like, oh that sucks, and I'm like, oh that's James.